All right, welcome to Jack Dotson's Racing Insider News this week. We got some exciting news today.
Yes, going to make a big announcement here in a few minutes. We'll have Nikki Turpin from Virginia 811 and Brian Morehouse from NC 811. We're going to have them on and talk a little bit about.
You know, the one thing is, I bet she looks a whole lot better than Brian.
Well,
I mean, it's not like much of a competition.
Well, I mean, it's, half a dozen. It don't take much to be fun. I'm still waiting to go to that the honey hog though. I'm gonna get down there and we're going to the honey hog.
Yeah. We got to thank our marketing partners. We got to thank GAC, Great American Company, Black Acid Apparel. If you want some T-shirts for your team, no matter big or small, if you want one shirt or 50 shirts, they'll take care of you. Bonneret Brothers Distillery. Factory Canopies, man. You can't thank those guys enough for these chairs. I mean, those cheap chairs Jack had before.
Jack had it was Langley Speedway.
So we can't thank Factory Canopies enough. MPM Marketing. What's her name?
Tanya McCall.
Yeah, her. If you need some help running your social media, she is the lady. NC and VA 811 now. Call before you dig.
We need to get our new get some new insignia up there now for the.
Well, you guys send it to me.
No, I will.
Safety Clean, Performance Plus Motor Oil. Last but not least, Langley Speedway. Can't thank them enough for allowing us to do to do our show here. With that.
Well, there's not a whole lot of news except Daytona.
I know. Can you believe Michael McDowell, Daytona 500 champ? I mean, who's seen that?
Not
coming?
Me. I never saw it coming. But I mean, he's good on Speedway, so it wasn't a reach as much as everybody thinks it was. And he's got a good shot again this weekend.
Yes.
On the road course.
Yes.
So he's got a good shot again this week.
But as too, I thought finally the Penske was going to get their Speedway program, the monkey off their back until about 800 yards before the church flag.
They lost 4 cars in the Daytona 500.
Well,
from what I heard,
about a $500,000 there.
Well, 3 of them on the last lap of the race, and 1 got lost in the early part of the race. But I had heard I was talking to Jefferson Hodges, and 4 cars in one race.
And speaking of Jefferson,
he'll be with us next week. Jefferson Hodges will be with us next week, and that'll be
cool.
I
wonder if he'll tell us what the. I'm sure they had a meeting today of how and.
I'm not sure. They probably had a meeting, but they might have had to bring security in because I have a feeling there's no love lost between some of them fellas right now. Anyway, the Daytona Clash was won by Kyle Busch. Last lap maneuver there by Chase Elliott put Ryan Blaney in the wall.
Yeah.
So that was the duels. Eric Almirola won the first duel. Austin Dillon won the second duel.
And then they were pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting. The first one was kind of calm. The second one was nowhere near being calm. The trucks race. Ben Rhodes come through in the last lap and got a win there. He wins the Truck Series race. Austin Cindric dominated pretty much the Xfinity race. He was just out there, and so Team Penske did get one.
We got a question. Andrew Fuller wants to know: do you know what happened with the 26 truck team crew?
Yes, I do.
You're not going to publicize that?
I really don't know that I should say anything about that. I do know what happened.
Was that the social?
Yeah, that was the one. Yes, but. As soon as he gets finished with sensitivity training, he'll be back. So
yeah, just remember, be careful what you post on social media. Everybody can see it.
We did not realize. I realized it, man, because you and I have been through it. But
I haven't been through sensitivity training. I probably should.
No, we're not. I'm not talking about the training. I'm talking about the social media part.
Yeah.
We've been through that and know how bad that gets.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not know that some lesser divisions were paying attention to the social media like they were. And I'm not talking about a NASCAR division. I'm talking about another division, and I'm not going to call their name because I get somebody in trouble.
Dave Adam reminded me I need to change the logo or something on my new shirts. Put 2-time driver of the week on there. They forgot to design that in the design.
Man, I'm not even going to get in that conversation with you. The ARCA race was won by Corey Heim. Some notable guys that we, have been around a little bit. Ryan Priest got a 6th place finish in the Cup race. How about Chastain getting a 7th in his first race with those guys? That was a pretty big deal. Cindric got a 15th place finish in the Daytona 500, but he ran a lot better than that.
Yes.
He ran a lot better than that. Over in the Xfinity, Brandon Brown got a 6th place finish.
Yeah. And then
that was a big deal. And Brandon Godovic got an 8th place finish. So a top 10 for Brandon Godovic. And probably the biggest one of all was Jordan Anderson getting a 2nd place in the truck series.
Yeah.
That was
owning his own team.
In the ARCA race, our buddy Willie Mullins did not have a very good ARCA race. The line stopped in front of him, and he didn't. So he didn't make it to the end. So, and Howie DiSavino got a 13th place finish in the ARCA race and had about 6 commercials on with him in it. So that was
he was everywhere, huh?
Yep. Down at New Smyrna, they ran the World Series of Asphalt. The modified World Series winner was Matt Hirschman. The super late models was Derek Griffin. And the pro late models was Cody Swanson. And I don't know how many won. I know Hirschman won the last night there. And Ryan Priest got the big win. And Stephen Nasi got the Orange Blossom race, whatever they call that race. He got that win. So anyway. All right. I see we have Nikki Turpin and Brian Morehouse. And that's what I would really consider Beauty and the Beast.
She's dying.
So anyway, let's go ahead and get them on here. Hello, Nikki.
I think I just fell in love with you guys. Like I'm just saying.
Well, I mean,
I gotta say, I'm a big fan of yours now that I've heard about this prank that you did. I mean, I am a prankster. So I would have loved to have been in the car with Brian when he was getting this news.
I mean, it was even better when he told it 2 or 3 days later to me. It was even better then because, I done found out what he had done.
I actually felt really bad for a hot second, and then I was like, no, he deserves it because he didn't tell me that Chuck was such a prankster. And so when I'm calling him, he's like, I can't hear you. You need to speak up. And so I start screaming in the phone, literally screaming. And he's like, oh, Morehouse didn't tell you I was a joker. I was like, oh, it is on. It is on.
All right, Brian, you got to defend yourself because I done heard a whole lot of stories.
Well, y'all are talking about Beauty and the Beast and everything else. So I guess I am just the ugly one here, but she hasn't met y'all guys yet. Okay, I've met y'all guys. I've had to room with y'all guys. I've ate with y'all guys. I've ran the track with y'all guys. I want her to spend at least one day with y'all guys. No, really want to really tell everybody that this was a really funny situation. I'm going to go ahead and let Nikki kind of tell it. How this all came about was we sat down and we were telling her how successful NC 811's been with short track racing. And the Jack Dodson Racing Insider News with Scott Allen and having our logo on many of the cars in North Carolina. And talking with Nikki, I was like, man, I put together a program out at Langley a couple of years ago with a company that I was working for at the time. I said it was a really good event. And she was really excited about it. And I was excited for her. I was like, call Chuck. Put it together. I'm telling you, y'all be a sponsor out at Langley Speedway. And at that point, I let it go and waited for her to call Chuck. And Nikki, I'm going to let you take it away.
So, first of all, Chuck was extremely delightful after I yelled at him on the phone for the first 5 minutes trying to have a conversation. So, after we got all of that done, then, we kind of talked business, all of that good stuff. I am actually really excited to jump in on the racing, and we are looking at sponsoring a night at Langley in August. I think we have the date locked in, but I'm not 100% sure. Chuck the 7th. So just subliminal messaging there. Anyways, we're, hashing out business. We get done and Chuck's like, you're going to have to call Brian and tell him that I did you wrong. And I was like, yeah, I'm down with this. How do we go up this? And he said, just tell him I insulted you really bad and just made you feel, awful and you're never doing business with me. And I was like, I can do that. But if I'm committing, you have to commit too. And he was like, I'm in. So I call Brian and I'm like, I really did feel bad because you were in the car, but I had just already committed to it. I had to follow through. It's like a dare. So I was like, listen, I don't know what you're thinking, but this guy is crazy. He made me feel awful, talked to me like I was a little girl and didn't know what I was doing. And he kept calling me little missy. And at some point, he started ranting about the government. And I just don't think this is a good fit. And I think you need to think about who you're doing business with. I'm pretty sure, and I'm not 100% sure because I wasn't there, but I think Brian may have piddled in his pants a little bit at this.
I was telling her.
I know he couldn't get off the bridge fast enough. I know that.
Audra talked me into taking a little trip that evening, and we were making our way down to a certain place, and all of a sudden I kept telling her, I said, I need to stop. We've been driving forever. And she's like, no, let's just get there. All of a sudden Nikki calls me and I'm like, hey Nikki, how's everything going? And she's like, oh, let me tell you something. I don't know what you did. You set me up. And she went on and on. And I'm looking at Audra and Audra's looking at me going, that doesn't sound like Chuck. I was like, I know it doesn't. And I thought at that point in time, I'm like, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my job. I don't want this. So I'm over a bridge now and I'm driving and I'm like, holy cow. What do I do? So I get off the phone with Nikki and I said, I got to call Chuck. So I called Chuck and I don't want to let him know that I have talked to Nikki. So I'm talking to him. I'm like, Chuck, did you talk to VA 811? Yeah, man, really nice girl. I'm like, okay, what did you say? Audra's over there going, what are you going to do next? I'm like, I don't know. Hold on. So did everything go okay? Yeah, everything went great, man. Really great. Chuck, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And all of a sudden he goes on for about a minute. I'm like, what is going on here? And he goes, we're pulling your leg. So we start laughing. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I really was really over the edge. All of a sudden, he goes, now we're going to pull one on Nikki. I was like, what are we going to do? He goes, you're going to call her. And you're going to tell her that you couldn't get in touch with me. And I was like, okay. And that Bill Mullis from years back, and you got Bill's personal number. And you're going to call Bill personally. He's the owner of the track. I said, okay. So then I hang up the phone. I'm all excited. I call her, and I'm like, hey, Nikki. Hey, I called. What did he say? Well, he wasn't in, but I called the owner of the track. I'm just going on and on and on.
So what did I say?
And all of a sudden, she's like, you are pulling my leg. I know you are. I'm like, God dang.
I said, you talk to Chuck. You didn't talk to anybody else. You talk to Chuck.
So it was really good. And I'm really glad to see VA 811 come on board. They will be having a sponsorship out there. And I'm going to let Nikki go ahead and talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah. So again, we are looking at doing August 7th, Chuck, to sponsor the night. So we'll be there. We'll have goodies. We'll be handing them out. I will be there. I heard Morehouse is coming. Don't let that deter you. You should come anyway. It's going to be a really great night. We are super excited to kind of get in on this. And we actually are I'm glad this is recorded. This is the only time I'm ever going to say this, Brian. I'm actually very grateful for Brian for bringing us into this. Virginia 811 is super excited.
Now, if I could just get those other two guys to say that, that would make my day. All three of y'all say y'all appreciate some Morehouse.
Now, I say that a lot. I do say I appreciate Morehouse a lot. I just don't say nothing good about how he looks or stuff like that. But I do say
Fair
I
enough.
appreciate him a lot.
He doesn't say it publicly.
Well, one thing I do want to let y'all know, the reason we're really pushing hard for August is 811 day. Okay. August the 11th. And, you know, it doesn't fall on the weekend, but we're going to have our 811 day down at Carolina Speedway, down in Gastonia, North Carolina. And then I'm going to make the trip on up and see all the fine people with VA 811. And, of course, enjoy a great time out at Langley Speedway and hopefully be able to see everybody. Looking forward to a great event. I'm looking forward to VA 811 being a big part of everything out at Langley this year, and I'm just tickled to death that they were able to put together a great program and be a sponsor out there this year.
Well, we're really excited about it. I've mentioned it around a couple of times. We're really excited about it. And then she's also going to come on and be a part of our show too. That's going to be cool too.
Yes, absolutely. And I believe, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, that we are going to be sponsoring the Rookie Driver of the Month and Year.
Right.
With you guys, which is also really exciting for us too. So
well, you're going to do every month and the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And while we're on the subject, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about that, Jack and Scott. We're going to be starting as everyone knows, North Carolina will be the driver of the month, and then also part of Driver of the Week with GAC. So when will all these awards start? When can people start looking forward to winning these awards?
I'm thinking we're going to probably be starting around the 1st of April. The way it looks right now. We're going to start it in April. I think Langley starts the 13th.
I think the 7th.
Maybe the 7th. Maybe it's the 7th.
I think.
They're going to start on the 7th. We're going to go along with that. And when Langley starts, that's when we're going to start doing that too.
And more than likely run all the way through October.
All the way through October. We'll do the best we can to get it all the way out.
Well, it's great to be able to give these people awards. And like I was telling Nikki about it when she got really interested in Jack Dodson Racing Insider News with Scott Allen, she was like, listen, you know, this is a great way to be able to get the message out there to everybody. People were seeing what we did last year, what success we had when we first started the Driver of the Week. And remember that guy that kept getting it there for a little while? What was his name, Jack?
I'm not going to call no names.
Yeah. Now he wants to get shirts with 2-time on there.
Right. I mean, hey.
I saw that, and I think somewhere along the line that's called false advertising. So you may not want to be a part of that.
Well, let me tell you, one time over the summer, I showed up at his shop to give him some marketing material for 811. And I went into his shop, and in his office, he's got both of those awards sitting there with a spotlight on it. I guess for all the customers to see and everything else. And then he's got this.
I ain't calling no names, but somebody's sitting in here with us, and you got to do that if you can't win no race.
He did have one trophy there, and it had a lot of dust on it.
Well, that trophy, I think that was an arena car trophy.
Still don't matter. Win's a win.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, it is. You can buy a Matchbox car and go ahead and get a win with that. But
well, to really tell everyone, I know NC 811 and VA 811 is really glad to be on board. Looking forward to some great things in the 2021 race season. Cannot get here quick enough. I know we've all been kind of held hostage in our houses with everything going on and social distancing, but really looking forward to a great spring and summer and enjoying it with VA 811. Hopefully August the 7th.
August the 7th is what we're looking at.
We were really hoping for that, and I'm really looking forward to Nikki and them having a successful night out there, along with a wonderful year.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
And Nikki, we really appreciate the fact that you're coming on board with us too. It's a big deal to have you with us. And if we can do anything for you out here at Langley Speedway, all you got to do is ask.
Your grass cut, Jack will come over and cut it.
Thank you. I'm kind of digging on this whole like Beauty and the Beast thing, so just keep that up, and I think we'll be good.
All right, can I tell them what I was going to pull on you, Nikki?
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was great, and I would have died like in the best way.
So I called her up about a week later, and I've had some time to think about this, and I said, I was going to go ahead and put on Facebook, Trash and Treasures, that you had an open house garage sale Saturday morning at 7:00, and I was going to have you opening the door with all these cars coming up, but I didn't know. I really thought I could lose my job on that one.
The funny thing is, when you told me that, the minute you started telling me, I'm like, I need to call Natalie after like the weekend and be like, you will never believe what happened to me this weekend. but then we probably both would have gotten fired, and that's not good. Like, we're gonna have to stop at some point, right?
Yeah, but we're going to have a great time. We all get along really good, and our jobs are we're liaisons, getting out there, letting everyone know to make sure that you call 811. This is a great way to be able to do it. Get those boots on the ground. Hey, it's all about getting the message out there to everyone. Thank y'all always for having us on the show, and thank y'all for letting us be a part of your show.
No, we appreciate the fact that you are a part of our show, because it makes us look, I mean, with Nikki on now, it makes us look really good.
Well, I gotta say, Brian must be able to sell ice to an Eskimo, because I mean, she can talk Nikki into sponsoring the show and Langley Speedway. I mean.
Hey, but Nikki, did you like racing?
She must have not even watched our show before, because she would have said no.
Well, it's funny, actually. Basically, my boss called me and was like, hey, I need you to talk to Brian, about some racing. And I'm like, I don't really want to talk to Brian. Do I have to? And she was like, I mean, kind of. And I'm like, well, what's in it for me? And so she gave me $20, and I'm like, fine, I'll call him,
Only $20?
I know. That's what I said after the hour conversation I had with you. And you didn't phone me up anything else. So, here I am stuck with pranks and $20.
Hey, Nikki. Yeah. Whenever we get together, I've got a story for you.
No, you don't.
I've got a story for you.
No stories. They told these stories to another gentleman that we all know, and that guy didn't even make it off the show, and he was calling me going, what are these two guys talking about? Because
I am in. I will buy the Coca-Colas, and we'll have that story.
And I like how
$20, guys.
I do. I have $20 worth of ice cold Coca-Colas, so I'm in.
And I like how Chuck just pulled all the strings, and he's the scot-free out of all these jokes.
I know.
Well, it was a good time. We really ended up having a great time with it. But there for a couple of minutes, my heart almost stopped. I'm glad we got a good health plan, because I thought I was going to have to go to the doctor. When she got off the phone with me, I did not know where to start. I've known Chuck Hall since probably 21 years, since I came out and started working at Langley in 2000. And I was like, I don't know what to do. How do I bring this across? And come to find out, it was my leg that was being pulled. Thank you.
Well, they got you good. Ain't no doubt about that.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, Nikki, thank you very much for being with us. Anytime you want to come out here and be a part of our show, we would love to have you right here with us, because I have my own beast I have to deal with.
I will definitely come in person. We will have a blast.
Yes, we will. We will have a good time. And thank you for being a part of the show. And we'll talk again real soon. Brian, thank you as always for what you do for us and everything that you put us in touch with. We appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, y'all guys. Y'all take care. Have a great evening.
All right, you too. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. We're crazy. We're nuts. Just plain nuts.
It sounds like she's a prankster herself, though.
It's going to be funny. It's going to be funny. I'm going to tell her that story on Brian. I'm going to tell her.
Like, I'm never going to get rid of this story.
You can get off now, Brian. We're not talking to you no more. You're done. We were not going to tell the story about, well. Anyway, we gotta go buy some lug nuts. All right. Well, now we have. Come on over.
Who's coming over?
Both of them come over here.
All right.
Get the corner there, and I'll move over a little bit. Get the corner here. Come on in and have a seat.
Come on, both of you. Come on over, and I'll work from the side.
don't step on that because you'd be the one to do it.
All right, joining us now are
The
Dustin.
Connors. They got a show on TV.
Now that got canceled too.
Yeah.
Dustin and Vicky Myers. Vicky Myers. No, you got me saying it. Connor and you car drivers.
Yeah. This year we're going to try to do something. I'm gonna try to do
Now
something.
you've raced before.
Yeah.
And you got out of.
I got hurt at work, and I work at a shipyard. And when I got hurt, I tore my Achilles tendon, my plantar tendon, and fractured a bone all on my left foot at the same time. And workers' comp, obviously, I couldn't race.
Oh yeah, I know how that works.
So me and Big Mike and Vicky were out at the house one night, and I'm in my cast and can't do nothing. And we have a race car waiting to go. We just built before I got hurt, and I couldn't race it. And Big Mike had actually said, joked around and said, "Why don't we just put Vicky in it?" And we had drank a couple of drinks, and
And you fell right into it, didn't you?
yeah. Well, first she was like, "It can't be that hard." She was like, "I can drive really good on the street." I'm like, "Oh God, here we go."
Well, that's what everyone says.
And she spun out about 52 times in the first practice we took her out here.
Yeah.
Her first race,
I was going so
her
fast.
first race, she thought
So
she
fast,
was
and then I
flying,
was a turtle.
and she got lapped on like lap 2.
Yeah, that was pretty
They actually
embarrassing.
put her 4 wide. Rodney Davis and Ronald Klein and a couple other people put her 4 wide on lap 2 in her first race, and she got out. Took her about 10 minutes and a beer to get out of the car after the race was over.
So what was it like that first race? And it was so easy.
I was ready to go again, but I was like, I'm going to go faster next time.
She made me rent the track the very next week because she was like, "I've got to get faster." That was embarrassing because we went back and watched it on tape because she thought she was flying, and then they lap her in 2 laps, and she's like, "Oh, that was bad. That was embarrassing." Kind of like how when you drove.
Now I want to know how you come on this show.
I mean,
We got some good guests
From
tonight.
now on, when you see me and somebody wants to come on the show, I'm gonna check them out first.
I mean, there got to be field fillers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what she was.
Oh, yeah.
We're not gonna. I'm not talking to you no more. So now you done fell in love with this race and stuff.
Yes,
So-
I have. Definitely. Let's see. After the first slow race when I was a turtle, 2 or 3 races after that, I flipped. So now I'm famous for flipping. That was super fun.
In the turn 4 ditch.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was fun. I just wanted them to flip me back over so I could finish racing because I was.
She didn't realize.
I was in top. I was top 10 at that during that race. I think I was.
And she didn't
7th or
realize
8th
in the enduro division, you cause a red flag and they got to come help you. You can't just keep going. You're done.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, especially she flipped over and we had a glass window then before we put the Lexan in it, and it shattered the whole window, caved the roof into the roll cage, and and popped the hole in the radiator. So she was more mad that they got her out. When they flipped it back over, she wanted to get back in to go racing again, but they wouldn't let her back in.
Oh, man.
So now you're gonna be racing against each other this year.
Yeah.
No, have y'all done that before?
I hope she beat you.
No,
to death.
we practiced on the track together before, but she couldn't.
That was
catch me.
because he put me in a slow car. Come on. And he had a car that was a lot faster than my car, and he's like, "Well, come on, if you can catch me, you'll be able to win." Well, there's no way. There was no way that I could catch
Can't
him.
drive a slow
I was
car
in a
fast.
grandma car, and he was in a freaking.
That don't seem fair.
It wasn't fair, but he cheats anyway. So
And then he comes on here and tries to.
I know it's rude.
That's really
It is rude. That's why he's kept his tail out of the car for 3 years while I've been driving.
And now I'm going to be here and I'm gonna pull for you because I want to see you beat him now. So I was gonna be nice and say, well, I can't wait to watch y'all race, but now I want her to beat you.
I want her to too, but I'm not gonna let her.
Well, he'll spin me out a few times, and I'm gonna get pissed, and I'm just gonna run him in the wall. or at least attempt. And anyone that's raced with Dusty,
you got problems, man.
anyone that's raced with Dusty knows that that's not going to happen. But you know, I can try my
Hey,
hardest.
he's got to pass you at some point.
Well, yeah.
So, Dusty, how did you get started in the racing?
Way back, right out of high school, I went over to Debbie Hester and Rick Hester's house and kind of seen. It was back when they had the limited late model.
Okay.
And you know, Rick's amazing with the cars, and he's just what he does with them is, you know, unbelievable what he can do. I think hopefully he'll be back out here this year with his car and just tinkering around out there. And I'm like, and then that's when Bill actually had started up the U-Car, or the U-Car division had started up when Bill had started it. And we came out here and I watched him the very first year, and I was like, well, crap, I can get a little junk car and come out here and have some fun and see what I could do. And I didn't know nothing about cars. My dad don't know nothing about cars. He couldn't even change his oil if he had to. And I just kind of learned on my own, and you know, I had help here and there through the years, and just started out with a little Geostorm and realized that was not worth crap. And then I got into my Cavalier, and you know, we were able to win quite a many races back then. And then got into a newer car, and I don't know, probably mid 2000s, and then did pretty well on that. And came up a couple years ago, right before the track shut down. Came up. Well, I finished second to Jesse Jones when he won his championship.
Okay.
I finished second in points that year, and then I got hurt, and I've been out since then. And I raced the Pro 6 and stuff. I raced that a couple of years, and we built our house. Built the garage for the race car, and then ended up having to sell the race car to finish the garage.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, so then we got back in the Enduros when Charlie and Parks Barn took over the Enduros. Had a blast in that, and then we decided I know a lot about U cars and could really mess with the cars more to make them, get them better, where you can't really do anything in the Enduros. And with her trying to learn out there with 35 cars, it was more or less survive for 35 laps and not really being able to learn how to actually race. So.
Oh, I survived.
I mean, she did well. So, and then we had a terrible year last year with her car. Just nothing. One of them years.
At least it looked good on the track.
I mean, it looked good. You couldn't miss it, but couldn't make more than 10 laps, it seems.
Now, who works on your car?
I do.
You do?
He does.
Now, that's got to stop.
My crew chief, Nick Deans.
That's got to stop. You can't have him working on your car. Because you know what? He's going to set you up.
Our cars are.
I've already heard on here. I've already heard a couple people talk about the cheating thing here. So
Rodney don't know what he's talking about.
So we don't want him to fix on your cars because we need to get you out in front of him.
Well, see, the thing is when we get parts for the car, I make sure I get the best parts because I'm allowed to get the best first, and then he gets the second best. That's just how it
that's
works.
the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. You probably take care of all the finances too, right?
Sometimes.
Who, her?
He brings the money home. I just pay the bills. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't want her to take care of all the finances. We have Amazon boxes and stuff at the house enough.
Well, he won't let me have a account for Snap-on or anything on my phone, so I've been shut down on that.
Well, I think I know somebody in this room might be able to help you whatever you need to do. He'll get in touch with somebody for you.
He shut me down a few times.
I'm against you right now. You know that, right?
He got to worry about his own car. He couldn't win a race with only 2 cars on the track.
Yeah, but he called it a top 5 every week. I got a top 5 every week.
I would too.
There's no Astro beside my name.
It don't matter. I mean, just like the NASCAR race, they didn't have very many cars finish the end of the race, but
17, 16.
I was sound like
Less than that when that last lap wrecked.
No, yeah, that's true.
I mean, hey, and then a lot of them other cars got top 10, top 20s.
Oh yeah.
So they didn't wreck.
So is Langley the only place you raced at, or have you gone anywhere else?
No, I raced at. We raced at. I actually did race at Dominion last year. We took one of our little hootie cars up there and ran in the. What was it?
That one bomber was called something else.
Any car?
Any car.
Yeah.
I raced in the any car. We couple of guys, Big Mike and Nick Deans, and
Fontaine, I think Thomas Fontaine was there.
yeah, a couple Langley guys went up there. Well, actually, it was quite a few that race, and we ended up finishing third.
Mm.
A little
It was a Alero.
the Oldsmobile Alero. We took it up there and did well. I raced at Southern National, East Carolina. We did well at East Carolina. I like that track. And then Langley, and we're going to try to race Carteret this year. And I want to go race. Did you say what was that? The other track that you were saying? The open Motor Mile.
Yeah, Motor Miles. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to race Motor Mile. So we're going to try to do some traveling this year, but mainly we're going to just run. All of our sponsors, going to want to be out here at Langley.
How tough has it been through all this COVID stuff on getting sponsors? And
It really depends on how you approach it. We really haven't had that big of an issue, to be honest with you. 'Cause we do have sponsors that's been with us, with her since she started, and
I've been pretty fortunate with my sponsors
but
from where I worked and people, me from where I worked before. So.
but how we arrange our sponsorship, we kind of do it like a NASCAR, like a contingency package. Starting sponsorships out like $100. How I look at it, if you can sell 10 $100 sponsors, that's $1,000.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot easier, especially with COVID, to walk into a business instead of wanting 10 grand up front. It's a lot easier to say, hey, we have packages that can start out here, and then we can move you up either throughout the year or next year. Like, hey, you want to do something bigger.
Yeah, I think like Charlie did that like years ago when he was running late model, and he bought a new trailer that way.
Yeah, and then we do it. We take the race cars and do events for our sponsors, meet and greets with her, and I mean whatever we can to get sponsorship. I mean, because as everybody knows, this is not a cheap sport. So you do what you have to do to.
You're not in it to make money.
No. Our bank account tells us that too.
So, what's it going to be like this year? The two of you all out there racing together. I mean, are you going to be watching, or you just not really going to care? You don't care. You didn't even care about me when you came on here.
No, I mean, I want all three of the team cars to do well. Nick Deans and her. I mean, our goal this year is to finish 1, 2, 3 with the cars. It'll happen. That's our goal, and we've worked our butts off this off season. I mean, Nick's put a ton of hours into her car, and believe it or not, we haven't even started on my car yet.
Wow!
And it'll be done, hopefully. And it's one of them things. I mean, we got till April to get it done, so I mean, we're gonna try. We put a ton of hours in it, a ton of time, and hopefully be competitive this year. That's our goal. I mean, Nick won the last race on Halloween last year.
Okay.
And that's kind of we want to pick up kind of where we left off at the end of last year. So that's kind of our goal.
I think you'll do well.
I mean, we just want her to finish some races. I mean,
Oh, she hasn't been finishing races?
We had
so she needs to run over you until she can finish a race.
Yeah.
Between overheating and transmission problems last year, I finished one race last year.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I started every race,
Yeah.
other than one.
I think the end of the year ended, I think we had replaced almost every part on the car from something just breaking. I mean, and it was something almost different every week. It was just that kind of luck that we had last year. It was just something different every week.
Yeah.
5 different transmissions.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 different motors. And
That gets to be a little expensive too.
Oh, needless to say, we can do it with our eyes closed now.
so, I mean, other than that, we're hoping for a good year. I want the fans back here. I mean, I missed all the fans.
For sure.
Yeah, so that would be great to see that happen.
I don't know if it's going to be like that in the beginning, but hopefully by summer we can.
Let's hope so.
At least I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at other tracks, and the fans make it what it is, especially, yeah, because, you can see the fans, hear the fans, in the cars. And
yeah. I mean, I can't imagine that first cup race with no fans and you pull out and you're like so excited and there's nothing,
That's what
Cardboard.
that's what was so strange last year when we went to that Dominion race. That was
Yeah.
the first, there was no,
I was there.
yeah. So that was the absolute weirdest thing. It felt like a practice.
Yeah, so all the cars were there, but I was standing on that little perch right outside the thing there.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I came down and stood there, and I stood there and I looked around and there's nobody in the stands but me. I'm the only one standing there.
Yeah, it was really, really strange, and I mean, awesome track, but we rather just race here. It's closer, and
Dominion is a great track. You'll find out. I don't know if you've been to Carteret before, but
we haven't been to Carteret.
Carteret is a great place. I mean, you're going to really like Carteret, but there's nothing like coming back to Langley.
Yeah,
and to being at Langley Speedway. So
yeah, being home is definitely a home field advantage, so to speak.
I've gotten spoiled with the safety team that we have here and seeing how safety is at East Carolina and Dominion. I mean, their safety team is good too, but not as good as we have here.
That's a fact. I mean, there's
Definitely
somebody.
gotten a lot really spoiled.
Was it? Where was it? We raced when they were closed down.
East Carolina.
No, well, we raced carts down at
Florence.
Florence. I mean, they weren't NASCAR sanctioned. Guys were wearing shorts and just a jacket, getting in a late model. I mean,
What?
yeah. And like, if the race was going on, and you wanted to get across the racetrack, if there was a gap in between the cars, they just wave you run across. I mean, it was like the crazy. I'm like, oh my god.
I think that's going to change though.
Oh well, yeah, they're NASCAR sanctioned now,
Yeah,
so you're not going to be able to do those things.
Yeah, they got bought by. Didn't they get?
The guy that owned Myrtle Beach, the guy that was running Myrtle Beach,
It's supposed to be buying. There's some kind of deal struck.
so that's an interesting place to race.
I mean, they run our class. I mean, I like to run down there. I mean, we like traveling. And it just kind of works out if we can bring. Obviously, we're not going to bring 2 race cars or nothing like that, but one of us will have to pick who's driving that weekend. So,
I was gonna say, y'all got a trailer to pull both cars, or
no.
Eventually.
Yeah, we have 2 trucks and 2 trailers. So
Technically, we could hook the in the open trailer to the camper, have Mom pull both of those. I mean, I'm just putting it out there.
no. we like to find something to haul both of them at the same time, but
yeah,
to make it easier. But
it
We'll see.
takes money.
yeah, it does, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, we're just hoping to get the season going.
I think you need to get back in the Pro 6 again.
Scott don't want none of this.
Maybe
How'd
he
you know where I
does.
Nah, I like driving the Pro 6. To me, that was the easiest cars out there to drive. After all,
SB Scott's driving.
I mean, I think he did well going from a go-kart to the Pro 6. I mean, that's a huge transition.
What are you in his fan club or something?
That's Rodney.
Well, I knew that. That's a mafia. That's not a fan club. That's a mafia.
Rodney just needs to buy him a wedding ring, don't he?
I mean, that race he supposedly did so great. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about it.
Nah, man, it's
But I go home and all night long, my phone don't ring much at night. All night long that night, that thing was going slam crazy. And somebody was, this Racer of the Week thing was supposed to be a joke to start with.
it took off though.
It did take off. And then this dude gets involved.
I seen that show. I think as soon as you came on, there was about 20 messages of them driving. And I seen when you came on the show, you're like, oh man, here we go.
I got it. I mean, I got it the whole weekend after the race. I mean, that was
Did you have to give him a trophy for it?
not giving. At that point, we weren't giving away anything. We just let him think he was a driver of the week.
Hey, when they got to make a rule up for you that you're not qualified for anymore. So.
I seen that.
Yeah, we had to do that because you can't be associated with the show and try to be, they were telling me, "Oh, did you see how good Scott raced this week?" And I was sitting right here in the media center, and I'm thinking, did I miss something? And he finished 4th out of 4 cars.
That's a top 5 though.
Yeah, it was a top
all
5.
day long.
But the guy who won the race was all the way over there in 3 when Scott was just coming across the start finish line.
Well, I couldn't catch him. There was no
He
need to
dominated
keep
the
going.
whole year. That don't count.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have any. I mean, I want to win when Travis Wall's here and
Bobby.
Bob. You want to race against people that are.
Maybe you need to put a sticker on the car. Maybe have a chance.
I mean, there you go, man. Talk to him and he'll sponsor your car.
I got a spot for you.
See how you look. Got a $100 contingency spot.
Right.
Brand new paint job's not gonna be Rainbow Warrior anymore.
That's about as close as you're going to get.
Well, you said the show had more. You said, didn't you say the other week?
72. We had 72 wins with our stickers this past year that I had on cars.
You have one.
No. The guy's on the damn show. He didn't even put the sticker on there. He didn't even put the sticker on there. The guy who finished first in points and won the championship, sticker. Guy finished second, sticker. The late model champion, sticker.
What'd you finish in points?
Third.
No sticker.
That's how I parked it one
And he got
race.
that car nice and neatly wrapped. He couldn't even put a little one on there, like that big.
Honestly, I thought it was on there. I thought it was in the wrap, but it wasn't.
Oops.
Rodney says you can talk to Tommy Gilday. He's got a 2-car hauler.
Does he?
That's what Rodney says.
I'll message him.
Oh, he's talking about the one that we were talking about before the show. The one that I
Oh,
yeah,
One in
yeah.
South Carolina.
The one in South
Yeah.
Carolina, yeah. Really wanted to get that, but I just don't know. As Rodney knows, I don't know if we'll be able to get that in the driveway. That might be the next challenge. So,
Well, I'll tell you what. First race, I'll bring my stickers there and put them on your car. Y'all have a shot then. I'll put it on her car. I put it on yours.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be on my car.
Hey, Roy Martin. I see Roy Martin. Roy Martin's having surgery tomorrow.
Hope everything goes well.
And hope everything goes well, Roy. And I have tried to get a hold of you. I don't know whether I've got the wrong number. I can just get a busy ring every time I call. Don't hear nothing.
OGC Dwight said, Radical always got you.
Oh yeah, the White Nichols has been a big help for us. He's a part of Radical Motorsports. He's been a huge help also to us.
Yeah, he's got into my truck twice last year. The keys locked in my
Now,
truck.
Eddie Clark does bring up a good point.
What do you say?
He says it's bad juju to wear your own T-shirts at the racetrack, and maybe it's the same way with the stickers.
That's a good point. See,
So,
damn, you imagine how bad my luck would have been if I did.
I think we need to look into that little situation there.
You couldn't have been no worse than hers this past year.
Hey,
I've
I
had
still
those
finished top 10, 10th in points, okay? And I was jumping up and down when it came on the TV. I was screaming and everything. I'm like, I
You know
finished
they
one
did
race top
the
10.
award
win.
banquets on.
Yeah,
I was going crazy. I'm like, oh my God.
So we had
That was so
had a couple of beers and they announced her name and
Jumping, I spilled my beer and everything. I was so excited.
I said, babe, you only know you finished one race. I said,
that's
I was folding laundry too, and I saw my car on TV and they said my name. I went all
Did
crazy.
you not know you were on top 10?
No, I had no idea.
because I thought they were only going to announce the top 5. I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was only awards to the top 5.
Yeah.
But I didn't know they were announcing the top 10. So
Saw that bright Rainbow Warrior car. I'm like, oh my God, I'm on TV. I got pretty excited.
You got a Rainbow Warrior color car?
That it was.
you ain't seen her car?
I did see that out there, but I didn't know that. I didn't put 2 and 2 together on it.
Yeah, that was mine. It's not Rainbow Warrior no more.
No.
What's it gonna be now?
It's gonna be Halloween colors, black and purple, and then orange numbers.
Some glowing numbers.
No, I don't think glowing numbers, but I was thinking about doing glitter on it again. Yes, I know why y'all hate the glitter. I don't care. Going back and forth on the glitter, but I was gonna stick to my true colors, Halloween.
Yeah, I've seen that car. I was out here. I never put 2 and 2 together who that was.
Yeah, it
Well,
definitely
it didn't
stuck out.
finish that much, so it wasn't hard not to. So.
Really?
Well, it didn't. We had a terrible year. We're going to change that this year, though.
Well, I set up here. I would, some nights I would say, well, I'm just going to go home in a few minutes before the Pro 6 race starts. I was going to go, because I knew won't no need me to stay. But I'd end up staying anyway. And the one night I really thought he was going to do something, he hit the wrong pedal.
You miss a shift?
No shift missed it. No. He hit the wrong pedal.
I hit the brake instead of the clutch. I was like, man, I'm gonna get the lead going into one. I had it good, almost cleared until I shifted. I was like, damn it.
I mean, it happens. Don't do that this year because y'all gonna have a decent field this year. You might get stacked up this year.
Sorry, we'll have a good car. We got a decent car.
Yeah, I hope that's what I'm hoping with her car, and then Nick's car should be really good. Hopefully, we put Dwight's got his own U car this year.
Oh, is he going to run U car?
Yeah, he's going to run U car. I think he's going to run both. If he's still on here, Dwight, I don't know if you. I think he's running both.
Man, it's so hard to try to run two classes.
Yeah, I did. I ran U car and trucks one night, and I'll never do that again. I'm way too fat to do that kind of work. I was passed out at the end of the night.
What's up, Brian? Brian Crawford.
And I guess I think he's going to, Dwight. We're just going to focus on just the U cars this year.
Yeah.
We were going to do a U car and an enduro, but it's too much work. It's going to be enough with.
Oh, for sure.
With her car, and then when we do get my car out there beginning of the year, that's already going to be a lot of work, and we don't need to have the third car trying to do that as well.
Yeah, and you get wore out going from one to the other and then back.
Well, one time we had 5 cars, so, and then we had cars in our horse pasture, and
yeah, Big Mike is driving one of our cars. We sold him one of our cars, my dad's car. We sold him that for his car this year, and then we sold the other one.
Yeah, the RSX to some guy that's going to race enduros with it this year. Yeah. We just try to downsize the cars and just try to focus on a couple of them instead of trying to do so much at one time, and try to spend the money wisely on have 2 good cars instead of
3 okay ones,
3 okay, 4 okay cars. So try to do a little bit better this year. What did Dwight say?
Sheet metal. Took a break to cook. Oh, we're coming over for dinner, Dwight.
We already ate McDonald's.
I'll eat shrimp.
You're talking about seafood, right?
Yeah.
Well, Rodney Davis goes to that place every
Bubba Shrimp Shack.
Yeah, he goes there,
or
and he never volunteers to bring us anything. So
shame on Rodney.
So that's just the way it works.
You have to put a request in when he comes on the show.
I'm gonna get him on the show here. He's gonna come before. He's gonna bring it when he comes to the show.
He'll forget.
I know he's like somebody else over there.
He's getting old at grandpa. He's probably watching this right now in his rocking chair.
Yeah, he is kind of old, isn't he?
Yeah, he works over at the shipyard with me too. I see him in the morning. He's always late.
Wow. Well, I was thinking Derek Lancaster was going to be joining us. I just sent him a message. I ain't seen him on here yet.
He's old too, ain't he? Sleeping.
Randy says, "Hey, assholes." I can't be talking about my buddy like that.
I'm an equal opportunity shit talker. So
right. Everybody's
going to get it.
I don't think you're supposed to say that bad word on the thing.
That's not unusual from.
You got to be on here with Scott. He says it quite a bit. Only time we won't say it is if preacher was up here or something.
Oh.
Might be watching. Oops.
Yeah.
I just wanted to take a minute to thank all my sponsors.
Please do.
For the number 32 Backyard Motorsports car, the Cockeyed Rooster Cafe, Von Tech, Virginia Nail Designs, Kane's Plumbing, Parts Barn, and Mark's Trailer Repair. We want to give you a huge shout out and thank you for this upcoming season this year.
What was the first one?
The Cockeyed Rooster Cafe.
Cockeyed Rooster Cafe.
Yeah. It's a restaurant in Smithfield. Awesome foods behind Pizza Hut on Bench Church.
You're a cock and got confused.
Yeah. He got excited.
No, I mean, as much as I go, no, you need to watch it now. As much as I go over towards Smithfield, I've never heard of that.
It's not Farm Fresh anymore, but it's a Kroger now. But it's in that shopping center by the gym that just opened.
Oh, okay.
You know where the Burger King is and the Taco Bell?
They've been there
Back behind that.
about 6 years now.
Dang.
Good food.
You know,
I tried to
ask you next week, did you go by and get some cock?
No. What's the barbecue place there?
Q Daddies.
Q Daddies.
That place is amazing.
I
We're
love
trying to wrap up all of them sponsors in Smithfield because we got so much good food out there, and you know, I like to eat.
it. You haven't got Q Daddies on board with you yet?
Nah, we're going to try. And they open up another location.
Yeah,
too.
Wakefield.
Yep. So,
I pass by it every Wednesday when I go to Richmond.
I see it too. I'm waiting for it to open up.
have you ate
They're
it before?
taking forever. Every
I've
time I
ate
go
it,
by
yeah.
there, it seems like when you go by there, it's like they put an extra board outside. I'm like, come on, you haven't gotten any further.
So you know what the gym is?
He's a smart aleck too. But I mean, you know, the Smithfield's got some good places to eat there in Smithfield.
Yeah,
And Farmer's Table is amazing too.
I've seen that, but
That
I've never
place
been
is-
there.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
But I've seen the ice cream place down in town. Ah, boy.
We haven't had that.
Yes, we have.
He's probably talking about the one over there by Travis's.
I'm talking about the one that's right in the old town.
On
Oh
Main
yeah,
Street.
okay, yeah, we have ate
Yeah.
that. It reminds me. You remember High's ice cream from?
Yep.
They have the same bubblegum ice cream and
It's a
banana splits,
My
and
grandkids love that place. I mean, they just think that's the greatest place in the world.
he lives out in Virginia Beach. He ain't got much of a choice.
We got all kinds of choices out there.
Too much traffic.
Yeah, you ain't brought Cookout in a long time. I've been waiting for you to do that, but you keep going
I've
to
been-
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A in it.
She said no to Chick-fil-A today on the way here.
I don't blame
No,
you. There's some days I can't take it either.
No, she wants chicken
love
nuggets every
Chick-fil-A.
day.
Why chicken nuggets for lunch? I didn't want chicken nuggets again.
Rodney said he'll bring me some shrimp tacos.
God, that sounds so good.
And well, I ain't told him when he's coming on the show either, so just keep on talking. You're going to be sitting outside with Dustin while we have the show in here.
She's way better to look at than I am anyway. So.
I was going to say that, but I wasn't going to say it out loud right now. I was gonna wait.
That's why she.
That was the true Beauty and the Beast.
You're not lying, though. That's why she has all the sponsors and I don't.
Well, I was going to say that, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just put a big me on my spot on my hood.
You don't have no sponsor?
Me? You want to sponsor me?
No.
wanna sponsor
You
me?
shut your talk. You shut that out a long time ago. That ain't happening.
Crap. I got a $50 contingency.
Come on my show and talk trash about me. That ain't happening.
Everybody does, so it's.
No, they normally talk about him.
Oh,
that's what he's hoping.
That's the setup. That's the way it's supposed to be.
I didn't get that memo.
We had Robbie Pellick on here last week, and his daddy, owns the car he drives, or he rides around in. And they come in here, and I said, "No, you got to talk trash about Scott." He said, "I can't." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "My dad told me not to."
But I forgot until after the show. We were somewhere, and I'm like, I forgot to tell you the story. So we went four-wheeler riding during the winter, and this dude passed me going down a hill and like went off the side of a cliff and had to bail off the four-wheeler. We had to winch the four-wheeler up like 40 yards down the mountain, up the hill. It was destroyed. I mean, we managed to ride it back to the trailer. But I forgot to bring that because we call him Robbie Ridge because he just went right off the ridge and kept getting it.
It says Robin says he listens to his dad. Yeah, and he sure did. Because I had him right here. Told him he needs to stop that. That don't make good sense. But anyway, well, it looks like Derek's not going to call in tonight. I'll try to get a hold of him again. Maybe he's got all kinds of interviews he's got to do. This was set up before he finished 6, so I guess
Hey, you got a good good top 10 finish on TV. I mean,
Oh, he had a bunch of interviews. I saw a couple of them this weekend. I mean, being with his head injury that he had and everything, a lot of people.
how do you think Michael McDowell feels after Sunday?
Oh man,
Can you imagine?
Oh, I just want the paycheck. I don't do.
and how popular was that win?
It was huge.
When you come back to the airport there at Concord, and all these drivers that you're racing against show up to congratulate you for winning.
I thought it was awesome. I like the underdog story because that's kind of how I feel our team is. We don't work with a lot. We just try to do the best we can with what we got. So
Sure.
I mean, I root for Ross Chastain, and I was a big Jimmy Johnson fan. Everybody knows that. I'm sure I'm gonna get a bunch of crap about it, but I was a huge Jimmy Johnson fan, and she gives me crap about it. Oh, he's retired.
Well, who was their driver?
We're not going to talk about that either.
So get away from that one. And
It was Bubba Wallace.
but now I like Matt DiBenedetto.
That's why I said we were going to talk about that later.
I thought with the way you painted your car, it was Jeff Gordon.
That's what I was
Oh, well, so the whole reason for the paint scheme is my dad that helped us with here. He got in a bad car accident on 58 2 years ago. So we decided to dedicate the car to him, and he loved Jeff Gordon. So we were like, well, why don't we just paint it Rainbow Warrior? So that's why we ended up painting the car Rainbow Warrior. No, not a Jeff Gordon fan by no means. So.
Neither was I until.
Yeah, so she likes her fancy paint schemes. And
Oh, I do. I really liked how it's like you definitely could spot my car anywhere on the track, like boom, and it was bright, But this year I'm gonna,
Maybe you
you're not
just
gonna
go
spot me.
be undercover while you're.
I'm gonna be up front, so you're gonna see me. So
There you go.
that's the plan.
And somebody be chasing you.
He always chases me. It's fine.
I'm talking about on the track.
I mean,
I guess it's good. I guess it's safe to say if there's a few laps to go and you're behind him, you're gonna move him.
I'm gonna attempt to.
I would hope she would. I mean, we don't put all this effort in to go.
I don't really
to
care
finish
about fixing
second.
the car later. I'll let him worry about that department.
Yeah, I've told her. I mean, we don't. Even though we're in the same class, we're out here to win. We're
If
not-
you ain't first, you last.
Yeah, so we're not out here to finish second or third or fourth we're out here
The
to
first
win.
race, I just want to finish.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think we'll be good. But the first race, I just want to finish and at least be top 5. And then after that, I'll be good to go. Be right up front.
Yeah, I see Randy Akers was on there. He was a big help when I first started too. When I didn't even know how to put a roll cage in the car, he helped me put a roll cage in my car when he had his dad's shop over there on Jefferson Avenue. He helped me out over there. He was a big help because back then I had absolutely no idea what I was doing.
You gotta start somewhere. I mean,
I had, nobody that I really knew had any mechanical knowledge or race car knowledge even at that. I played baseball my whole life, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to go drive a race car. That was dumb. I should have stuck with golf or something.
yeah, been a whole lot cheaper.
A
I can
lot
tell you that.
cheaper.
Well, you're watching enough of damn golf on TV. You should be a pro.
I watch it. That's what my son, he played baseball all through high school, and then he decided last game of the year, he throws his equipment right down and says, I'm done with baseball. Okay, what are you going to do now? I'm going to Charlotte. I'm going to work on a race team. It worked.
Did it really?
And when I said I wasn't a Jeff Gordon fan, guess who he worked for? Jeff Gordon.
You had to go buy a hat, didn't you?
Yeah. No, I didn't have to buy them. I was given plenty of hats. But I wasn't a big Jeff Gordon fan. I kept saying, I'll beat my luck. My son go down and go to work with Jeff Gordon.
Of all the teams, right?
Yep. But he started out with the Wood Brothers, and then he went to he joined with JTG, and then he went over to Michael Waltrip's. He went to Phoenix before he went to Michael Waltrip's, and so he worked with Bill Elliott and all those on.
That's awesome.
So he's better. He was around. Now he's a pilot. He's out of racing and a pilot who I ain't flown with yet.
I don't do airplanes. So. If I can't drive there, I'm not going there.
All right. Well, that's our show for tonight. Hopefully, we'll get Derek Lancaster on here again. I'll try to get a hold of him and see what was going on. But anyway, next week's show, we're going to have Jefferson Hodges from Team Penske. He's going to come on and talk about 2 weeks at Daytona, the race, the Daytona 500 and the road course race. We're also going to have Rick Paust. Somebody mentioned him earlier. He's going to be on. He's going to be on the show. And Trace Wyatt.
Okay.
Trace Wyatt's going to be here. Another one of them go-kart guys. So, you know, they were all happy to see Scott get out of the go-kart. And they
Did you beat him up in the go-karts? I don't know. I don't follow them things. So
We ran up front. We won one race.
did you?
Mhm.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you did win one race. Yeah, you did. I'm sorry. You did.
Yeah, I
win
thought they
one.
were going to arrest me when I left because I stole it.
He didn't actually do like Danny Millard. Danny Millard actually, he's a hero here.
I did what Danny wanted to do.
So anyway, that'll be our show next week, and hopefully you'll tune in. Thanks for watching the show tonight. Like, share, save, do whatever you need to do. We'd love to have you a part of the show. Thank you very much.